They say that only a fool would repeat the same thing twice, expecting to get a different result.
Mm.
It looks like there are several fools around the world, and I would have to include the UK in this category. Well, not the UK as such, but the current administration.
Yeah.
Well, not 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 the administration, but more precisely Rachel Reeves. She just needs to look around the world to see that she's barking up the wrong tree. How do I know?
Mm.
Well, just look at our country cousins from across the pond.
Mm.
What do the states of California, Washington, and New York have in common? Well, we could say that they are Democrat states, but as I am apolitical, I don't play with either team,
Yeah.
not Democrat nor Republican. But I rather look at the policy.
Mm. Yeah.
Right. So all three states have this eat the rich policy of raising taxes and complicating
Mm.
the lives, sorry, of the entrepreneurial class.
Yeah.
What do companies do when their existence gets too expensive? Well, if they're a small company, they hit the wall
Mm.
and enter into bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Uh, if they are larger and have the funds, they move to pastures green.
Mm.
Right. So Yamaha, for example, following the lead of Public Storage, Chevron, and X, among
Mm.
many others, have uprooted and left the state of California. In Yamaha's case, they're moving to Georgia rather than the preferred destination of the others, moving to Texas.
Yeah.
These moves have nothing to do with political leanings, but on pure economics of the thing.
Mm.
The taxes aren't as high there are no taxes in Texas,
Yeah.
and in Georgia the tax thresholds are a lot lower,
Yeah. Yeah.
or a lot higher in this case. Seattle in Washington is no different because of high taxation. High-end companies are fleeing the city, and now just over a third of the office space in the center is vacant, and it's making the city begin to appear like a ghost town.
Yeah.
Not very good for the picture postcards if the needle has no more thread.
Mm.
Uh, and the local government looks to be going scorched earth by taxing owners of the empty office spaces. They
Yep.
want to go get down and dirty.
Mm.
And those, if you got no, if you don't, even if you don't have tenants in your office building,
Yeah.
you still have to pay tax on it.
Yeah.
New York State Governor Kathy Hochul is almost on her knees begging the wealthy who have already fled the state to come back and fund her social welfare fund. She seems to have realized that
Mm. Yeah.
using the rich as a whipping boy doesn't
Mm.
end well.
Mm.
Consequently, the budget is not working that well either.
Yeah.
Of course, newly elected New York City Mayor Zoran Mandani doesn't see it quite like that and is on the move to tax the New Yorkers even more to afford to keep the illegal immigrants in the city.
Yeah.
So where does Rachel Reeves fit in with all this, I hear you ask? Well, her policy of taxing the rich and targeting the small business owners to pay more is going to destroy the wealth creators in the country.
Mm.
Those people who live in Bahrain, for example,
Mm.
wanting to limit their stay in Britain so as not to get caught in the tax trap, are still planning their next move
Mm.
because they've left Bahrain because of the
Yeah.
shells,
Yeah.
and they can only stay in the UK for so long.
Just have
And
holiday.
if
Yeah.
they overstay their welcome, they get taxed.
Yeah.
So return to that. They could return to the Middle East and take the flak of missiles flying overhead,
Mm.
or find another safe haven like Monaco for a few weeks.
Mm.
Those that have money will move to pastures green.
Yeah.
Nothing to being patriotic, many are.
Mm.
It's just a case of pure economics.
Yeah.
That's what I got. So, Rachel Reeves, have you got any advice for her?
Draft your resignation letter now. Yeah. Um, trouble is, who the hell would replace her?
Ed Miliband.
Like I said, who the hell would replace her? um, uh, yeah,
They could,
it
they
is
could,
a
they could swap places.
clueless and clueless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer David Miliband myself. I thought he would have always been. Yeah. Um, it is a okay. We're getting to the crux of it. The socialist. I'm going to call it a socialist idea. Left leaning is the socialist idea. Yeah, and yeah, I'm going to hit the rich. The rich don't deserve everything they do. Now, funny enough, moving away from the UK, moving to where I have now, and having to have clients that, let's just say, are among probably the top 10% sometimes of the Brazilian population. Not I mix with the mega rich, but you understand, you have to. And then I realized these people are business owners and not, yeah, factories and things like that, yeah, which Rachel Reeves will be chasing. The amount of work and stress they actually do endure is quite something. So you realize, who are the working class? We all are working class. Yeah. Anyone that gets up in the morning, and yeah, we don't make our money doing this. I actually work. You've worked in the past. You do other things as well. Um, we have to graft and earn money. Um, so does anyone else. These people have put their own money into risky ventures that create employment for other people,
Right.
who consequently are not dragging from the. Let's put it this way: there's no such thing as public money. The money is our money, every one of us who pays our taxes. That's our money. That's not government money. And they still work with this perception of that. And this is why they try and sell it to the general population, who should be a lot more aware now. As like I said, I've moved to Brazil and I've gone quite the reverse to a lot of other people here. Yes, I feel sorry for the homeless and the poor people on the streets. But yeah, I'm not going to start telling Brazil how to operate it. I don't vote here. Yeah, I vote in the UK. I would say to Rachel Reeves, unless you're working for a real hardline socialist stroke communist agenda in the back of it, of destroying every business and going for national ownership of everything, your strategy is going to backfire big time. Yeah. And the way the US operates, each state, like it is in Brazil, is a mini country. Yeah. The UK doesn't operate like that. We are dependent on the policies that Rachel Reeves makes. And then, yeah, for, if you like, a national tax regime. Yeah. When you hear about tax breaks and things like that, when companies get tax breaks in Wales, it's still paid for by the English. Yeah. Or in Scotland. Scotland don't really do tax breaks, yeah. But so yes, getting back to it, by taxing the people that want to invest, are sometimes quite patriotic to the government or to the country, have been in the past Labour supporters, many, funny enough, oddly enough, yeah, do accept that workers do need rights. But the most important thing for a worker to start with is A, have a job, be treated respectfully at work, have decent facilities like toiletry, maybe somewhere to have your meal and everything else. Yeah. But do 7.5 hours work. Yeah. Production, produce for the company. And um and the more successful the growing the company is, the more people it can afford to employ. I know people talking about AI and other things. That's a separate issue that I don't want to go into now. And it's not going to replace every single person in the country. Yeah. But yeah, so you open up a factory, um, for argument's sake, in Luton, it employs 300 people. There's 300 people who are now not on the dole, who are not drawing off the public purse. They're drawing off your money. They're helping to make your company successful. And therefore, yeah, hopefully they'll have a job for the long term. They might complain about how much they don't get paid, but yeah. But ultimately, everybody's a winner. You're then potentially producing products that sell nationally or internationally to bring in finance into the company, into the country, money into the country. Yeah. Um, if you're producing widgets that are needed in Germany, France, Portugal, and Spain, people are going to buy your widgets. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, whatever it is as well. I mean, even the financial services, the City of London. I mean, the City of London operates on its own separately. I know this, but yeah. But even then,
Basically, the UK is um, is just that.
mm,
It's not so much a manufacturing venture these days. It's more of a service market. So you've got, instead of large companies
mm,
hunkering down with large factories,
mm,
the vast majority have been shipped abroad.
yeah,
Which I would have thought that Reeves would have seen that already.
mm,
I mean, like I said, she only has to look across the water
mm,
and see what the results are of people doing the same thing that she's doing,
yeah.
you know, and all we've got left in the UK in general is a service industry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to
And
put that one on that. This was a little
and
bit of Thatcherism that came in as well. She didn't quite understand that. Yeah, we're accused of being right wing on this channel. We're not. Thatcher made a lot of mistakes as well. One of them was probably didn't quite understand that to have a financial industry, you need a good balance of a manufacturing stroke hard goods and raw material industry as well. And she didn't quite understand that. So again, that's historic, and I'm not going to pin that on on this government here. But yeah, Rachel Reeves by going, I mean, there possibly is a bit of a black hole in economy. Um, yes, the UK has flat out borrowed all the money it can do, probably at the moment. Yeah, for credit reasons. Yeah. And then looking internally, who can I hit hard? Oh, I've got millionaire business people who are going to Foxtrot Oscar and go, like you said, go to other places. We've already got enough non-doms in the UK. Yeah. Um, again, yeah, their businesses do actually operate in the UK, despite this belief they don't pay taxes. The businesses pay corporate tax. I had my own business for a time, but a one-man band business in the UK, and corporate tax makes you cry. Yeah, and yeah, we all play the game of being tax efficient. Yeah, not tax avoidance. Yeah, it's tax efficiency. Um, yeah, I don't believe in paying more tax than I should do to any government anyway. But the money is still better in my bank account where the banks can invest and do things than it is in government's hands where they'll, well, whatever they're blowing the money on at the moment. And I'm not going to start putting the long list.
HS2.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. That's one example. Yeah. The vanity projects. Yeah. Um, the fact that it'd probably be more beneficial to build more, improve some sewage systems in some areas of the country or do other things to, if you like,
Well, we're not
yeah,
here to tell the government how to
had to
spend the
do it.
money.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know other things as well, but yeah, improve other infrastructure projects. But that, yeah, disregards anything like that. By hammering the wealthy people, you will drive them overseas, or you'll drive them to other territories, or they'll end up in, um, or they'll end up bankrupt. Yeah, or they declare themselves bankrupt. Whatever they do. I mean, they all play games ultimately, yeah. And you will drive them to do that. I'm not suggesting it is. I don't know. I'm not an authority on tax or anything else. I just know I saw my tax bill occasionally and cried. Yeah. Um,
Well, the old saying goes, if you can't stand the heat, you get out of the kitchen,
Yeah.
and that's what as Rachel decides to put a little tax on this, tax on that, charge this, charge that, it just gets too hot for comfort.
Yeah. Now, okay. Um, Conversely, um, the there are other parties who are campaigning at the moment. The campaigning for the next general election has already started. Whenever it is, it's already started. And read into that whatever you will, what other parties believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the 19th of May, or whatever, is it 5th of May? Yeah, it's local elections, but yeah, that it's now the general election is now the starting campaign for the next general election. The cycle is there. Um, Other parties are claiming or saying they will cut the tax burden. Um, I'm not quite sure always how you can cut public spending. Um,
By reducing the size. That's Milei from Argentina.
yeah, I mean, yeah, at a senior level.
Just to give you an idea, just to give you an idea, the recent jobs numbers,
Mm,
the jobs on the private sector, there are fewer jobs created
mm,
this month or this quarter.
yeah,
But for the public sector, there's more jobs. It went up.
really,
So
yeah,
the government is bloating itself. Yeah. So the government is being bloated even further,
mm,
and the private sector is being reduced, is being squeezed. And so, it's going to make the government to run even more expensive.
mm.
And the people who write the allocate the funds and all this well, don't seem to understand basic economics, Rachel.
Well, that's why they're there. I mean, there is a sort of expression: if people are only good at business, they'll be in business.